The Suzuki Swift Sport. Now, this is actually one of the most affordable cars you can buy with the name Sport in it, because all others have gone over R500,000. Now, we'll discuss this car's performance, we'll talk about its interior, we'll discuss the service plan, its warranty. I'll also talk about what it's like to drive this car because I drove it, and also what it's like to be driven in this car by professional drivers. So we have a lot to unpack. So let's get started. Oh, by the way, I got to rev it. Since it's a sport car, we'll start with that. And this is what it sounded like. Now, on the inside, the engine sounds okay, but on the outside, yeah, it leaves a lot to be desired. But don't forget what the VW Golf 8 GTI sounded like in my other review. So yeah, can't be too hard on this one either. Now, as you can see, this car has a 1.4-liter turbo engine, or as they call it, a booster jet engine. It produces 103 kilowatts and 230 newton meters of torque. Now, I know that might not sound like much, but this car actually has a good power to weight ratio because this car isn't all that heavy. And speaking of ratios, you can get this car in a manual or as an automatic. The one you're looking at right now is a manual. They didn't have any automatics. But let me give you the prices. Now, the price difference between the manual and the auto is 22,000 Rand. The manual comes in at 377,900 Rand, and the automatic is 399,900 Rand. On finance, the automatic would cost you 7,408 Rand, and the manual would cost you 7,001 Rand. So the difference between the two is 407 Rand. And you know what I'm going to say next? Between the two, go for the automatic. Except for you enthusiasts who love changing gears, go for the manual, it's okay. But for everyone else, get an auto, guys. There's no need to suffer. Insurance, you're going to pay around 1,700 Rand depending on your profile. And then with petrol, now surprisingly, this car has, okay, it's not that surprising, it's not a big car. It has a 37-liter fuel tank capacity. Now, I would give you at the current fuel price, but as you know, petrol is going up and it is going up by 51 cents. So I'll give you the price on the future petrol price, which you'll be paying from November. It will now cost you 846 Rand to fill this car up, which would bring your total cost of ownership to 9,954 for the auto and 9,547 for the manual. And speaking of increases, diesel is actually going up by 1 Rand 43 cents. So to those of you who drive diesel cars, I feel for you guys. You know, there was a time diesel was actually the cheaper one. Everyone wanted a diesel BMW, a diesel. I even wanted a diesel Ford Fiesta. But things have changed and diesel is just out of control now. Sorry guys. But to the petrol gang, yeah, those are your prices. And I know there's someone in the corner there thinking this car is very expensive. Show me a cheap car, guys. Please show me a cheap car. Tell me in the comments, this car is cheap, Bongani. Review this car and I will go review that car. Actually, I did. There's a Suzuki Swift Espresso. If you haven't seen my review of that, check it out. It is the literal definition of the cheapest brand new car you can buy in the country. Now, back to the Sport. You in the corner who said 400,000 is a lot, you're actually right. It is a lot, but there are people willing to pay that amount of money for this car. This car has a very big following. There are people who love the Suzuki Swift Sport, and for good reasons. The car holds its value well, Suzukis are very reliable, and the Swift Sport is generally fun to drive. Okay, let me be honest, I didn't drive the Suzuki Swift that far. I just drove it around the corner. But I have driven other Suzukis and those were fun. Now, as you know, guys, reviewing cars at dealerships is not easy, you know. It's not like I get time to really get to know the car. I'm just there for a few minutes. I try to take the videos as quickly as I can, but try and make sure they're as decent as I can. Yeah, but maybe as the channel grows bigger, maybe they'll give me cars and then I can give you guys better and more in-depth reviews. But until then, guys, I appreciate the support. We are just under 5,000 subscribers now. And the channel is actually only 2 months old. Well, 2 months since I posted the first car review of the VW Polo. So thank you, guys. Thank you. In terms of being driven in the car by a professional, honestly, I was happy. I had fun. I had a great time. I think it was on that day the Suzuki Swift Sport won me over. I thought, this is a great little car. This is a great little car. Now, onto the back seats. You open the door up there. Yeah, it's a Suzuki thing. Anyway, the back seats. You get cloth seats. I'm sure you're not surprised by that. And I don't know how Suzuki does it, but they know how to make space out of small cars. It's not as small as you might think. People can actually sit in the back. Now, I'm not saying you can slouch like you can do in a Haval H6. If you haven't seen my review of that, check it out after this. Obviously, a Haval H6 is an SUV, but for the size of the Suzuki Swift, the rear space is more than enough. In the front, you're met with a lot of red highlights. They did their best to make this as sporty and as different from the normal Swift as possible. And I love Suzuki steering wheels. I think they have one of the best steering wheel designs in the business. It looks good, it looks sporty. I love it. They never go wrong with their steering wheels. The car has 6 airbags. It has a driver and front passenger airbag. It has side airbags and it has curtain airbags. Now the seats are cloth, but they are semi-bucket seats with the word sport on them. So you know this car is a sports car and it's fast. It also has push to start technology. It has a 7-inch infotainment screen which has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It also comes with a reversing camera and you also get rear parking sensors as well. The Swift has a 242-liter boot for all your groceries and bags. It also has a spare wheel in case of an emergency. The Swift Sport comes with a 4-year 60,000 kilometer service plan and a 5-year 200,000 kilometer warranty. If I didn't mention the color of this car, it is champion yellow. It's very bright. And you know what else would brighten up my day? Liking and subscribing. Please support local YouTube, guys. It's the right thing to do. And the more you like and the more you subscribe, the easier it is for me to go to dealership and go to dealerships and review these cars for you. But until the next one, guys, take care. Welcome to the PlayStation 5. 15,000 Rand. Personally, looking at my finances, I'll just go on with my PlayStation 4, even though I'd love a PlayStation 5, but yeah, that's the price.